Okay, well, thank you for being here with us today. We are Maddox Advertising Agency, as you see. I'd like to say thank you to the Cranberry Committee for coming here today, giving us all the gift goodies, and setting off a lovely evening for us. First, I'm going to start a story about why we chose Maddox. I'm not going to get straight into cranberries. We chose because we wanted an animal to represent why we are so strong, why we're so powerful, and why we are reliable. So we thought an ox, especially being a mad ox, was a great representation of that, and it's also our lovely teacher's name. Okay, so moving on, I'm Alex Sandland.
I'm Isabella Escobar.
I'm Owen Bechtel.
I'm Stephanie Marcosi.
Bailey Henners.
Alex Neal.
I'm Ryan Gillis.
Okay, so first we're going to go over the agenda. We're first going to go through the research, then our target markets, the positioning statement, our big idea, the campaign, our objectives, and finally our return on investment. So moving on. So the trends of impacting the cranberry industry, we looked into two categories. The first was social and cultural, and environmental. In social and cultural, technology is obviously a huge factor, as everyone knows. So people are online more now, they're tweeting, using all sorts of social media now. So we think that's a huge avenue to go down. Health to happiness, there's this recent trend of everyone trying to be more healthy. So that's another big avenue. And also there's an abundance of choice now. So you can walk into a supermarket and there are just brands everywhere. So having differentiation is really important, especially for cranberries. For environmental, we said sustainability and organic food was the most important because people are now looking for their food to be created in more sustainable practices. And also, as I said before, because of this health trend, they're trying to have more clean food like organic food. So we came up with 3 guiding research questions. The first one was, what will drive 18 to 35-year-olds to buy more cranberries? Next was, which marketing channels are best to go down to get people to have more awareness about cranberries? And lastly, what forms do the cranberries need to be purchased in to be consumed the most? So for our research methodology, we had a group of 10 participants come in, and we sat down, had a stimulating conversation about cranberries, and we basically jotted down everything they said. And from that information, we came up with a survey. And this survey we sent out through email, social media, to just all sorts of people, and we got 135 responses. From those responses, we then created our campaign going off of this information. Now I'm going to hand it over to my wonderful partner, Isabella, who's going to talk about the research findings.
Okay, so now about the research findings. Well, first of all, we found out that from our survey that 67.2% said that they actually do eat cranberries. And out of this percent, we found out that 54% eat it on a monthly basis. So now, in our focus group, one of the things that we ask is just like on top of mind awareness, what are the 3 type of fruits that just come into their mind, like the top 3? And cranberries was never mentioned. So basically, there is a low awareness of cranberries out there in the market. And we also found out that the 2 forms that are mostly consumed are dry cranberries and cranberry juice. However, we found out that there's a negative perception of the added sugars in these 2 things. But we also found out that the people that are participants and also the people that took our survey, they were saying that they like to snack when it is convenient, and also whenever they do eat cranberries, they add it either to their salads or also to their oatmeal and things. And they were also saying how if they knew more ways on how to incorporate cranberries into their meals, they would be willing to try it out. So going on, so this is as I was mentioning before, we did find out that there was a low awareness. And as Gloriana, one of the participants in our focus group, she was saying, I would definitely eat cranberries more if they were more available. I feel like they don't have much exposure compared to fruits like strawberries and blueberries. So this is just emphasizing on the fact how cranberries are not stacking up against other fruits. And continuing on, this is another quote. We also found out that people that are from the New England area, they have higher awareness of cranberries. And one of our participants, Emily, she was saying that I see them more at home in Massachusetts. They sell cranberry muffins at Dunkin' Donuts. So this is just telling us how, depending on the area that people are from, they have higher or lower awareness of cranberries. So now, we also asked in our survey, well, how healthy do they perceive that cranberries are? So we found out that, well, as you can see here from this pie chart, more than half are either perceive it as somewhat healthy or healthy. So even though there is still the added sugar in dry cranberries and cranberry juice, they still perceive it as being very healthy. So now, continuing with our findings, we also asked them how health conscious are they, and we found out that 79.7 were actual neutral or somewhat health conscious, and then 15% are very health conscious. So now I'm just going to pass it along to Owen. He's going to talk about our...
Thank you. So our first insight is millennials have a strong tendency to customize all aspects of their lives. So through research, we've seen that millennials don't just like boring foods. When they're eating their cereal, they're throwing stuff in there. When they're eating mashed potatoes, they spice it up. They spice up every aspect of their meals, and they just don't want the plain brand meals anymore. And they want to add fresh ingredients. They want to make it very customizable and make it their own. Our second insight is that fast-paced lifestyle of millennials creates a necessity to eat on the go. So we found that only 5% of millennials actually eat 3 meals a day. So they're either skipping meals or they're substituting snacks for meals. And throughout the day, they're just snacking. So we see that the snacking industry is really rising with millennials. Third insight is that we have an opportunity to capitalize on demographic popularity as well as make cranberries more accessible in other areas. So from our research, we saw there's just low awareness around DC, but in our focus group and other research, we saw that there really was a high awareness in the Northeast region, especially we had a few from our focus group there. And so we see that we can capitalize on the high awareness there by just putting cranberries in the industry more, I guess, and then for the areas that aren't as aware, we can kind of just use our campaign to raise awareness to create a demand for cranberries. And our last insight is that millennials perceive cranberries as healthy, despite the added sugar, because it is known as a healthy fruit. And so it's been driven into millennials' minds that fruits and vegetables are healthy. And so when a millennial looks at cranberry, he or she's going to automatically perceive it as healthy because it is a fruit. And so we can use this to his advantage because millennials these days, they want healthy foods, they want tasty foods, they want to customize their foods. So we want to use this healthy perception to raise demand for cranberries. And now going into our target markets. Our first market is called the wannabe, and these are millennials who want to be healthy. And so these are the millennials who will go to a store and they'll see a cranberry there and they'll see a chocolate chip there. They might buy something with cranberries in it because they perceive it as healthy and because they want to be healthy. They're not exactly doing background research or looking at food labels maybe, but they're just going to look at something, and if they perceive it as healthy, they perceive it as tasty, they're going to buy it. We found that in some research in our survey that 80% of people, millennials, sometimes eat healthy, but they won't avoid bad food. So they want to eat healthy, but they're not just going to go out of their way kind of to find a healthy food. They're not going to avoid the bad food, but they do want healthy food in their diets. And in our survey, we said that we found that 5% of respondents said they were not health conscious, which means that the other 95% are at least somewhat thinking of health when they're buying foods. Our third one is healthy customizable food, kind of off our insight that they want to customize their food, and so they're going to be throwing healthy items into their food to not only make it customizable, but make it tastier or make it healthier. And lastly, we call this tasty health, that they're not going to sacrifice taste for health. That they want their food to be healthy, but they also want it to be tasty. We think cranberries are perfect for them because cranberries are tasty. They can add to the customization that they want in their meals, and they're healthy, and they have a lot of health benefits for them. Leading to a quote we have. This kind of sums up what we think about the wannabes. It says that they often make decisions based on gut feelings about the healthiness of the product. Talk about millennials. So a millennial walks in the store, it's a gut feeling. Cranberry, right there, it's healthy. This cranberry cookie is healthier than this chocolate chip cookie. And if it still tastes as good as a chocolate chip cookie, they're going to buy it just because it's healthier. And we think that really sums up the wannabes perfect. Our second market is the health guru. In our survey, we saw that 15% of the survey participants were very health conscious. So these are the people we've found through focus group and other research that really do research on foods. They look at added sugar, they look at saturated fat, they look on the labels for the health ingredients and the contents of the food. And these health gurus, they want health over convenience. So when they go to snack or buy food, they're not going to buy something just because it's convenient. They're going to plan out their meals, they're going to buy things that are healthy. And if it's not healthy, they're not going to just substitute their health just because something's convenient. They're forward thinking, so they're looking to their future, looking to their family's future with their kids, and kind of raising up a family lifestyle of healthy eating. And this quote kind of sums up the health curve, or it says millennials tend to be aware of and cautious about the sugar contents of their food. And so the problem with cranberries, as we've seen, is that most of it's consumed in dried and juice form, and that's got high sugar amounts. And we see that millennials, they do look at the sugar content for the health gurus. And so this is where we would promote the raw cranberries, that they're healthy and they can be implemented so they can be in smoothies, they can be in meals. You don't have to eat them just raw. You can implement them into many different ways, raw cranberries, to sell them, and you get all the health benefits with low added sugar. And this leads to our positioning statement. Our positioning statement is that cranberries are the only fruit that can be customized into millennials' diets to make all of their food options healthy options. And this is going to lead into our big idea for our campaign, which is your healthy solution for millennials. That for millennials, this is their healthy solution. It's not somebody else's. It's not what what someone else is telling them to do. It's theirs. They can customize their cranberries in their meals however they want. They can eat them raw, they can put them in smoothies, they can eat them in meals or snacks, they can eat them however they want. It's their choice. They can customize it however way they want. And cranberries are so versatile that they can be customized in so many different ways. And it's not only theirs, but it's their healthy solution. The cranberries, millennials, they want to be healthy. And cranberries are healthy. They have health benefits. They're better for you than chips and cookies. They can be added into so many things. They're good for you. And millennials, they want something that tastes good, that's healthy, and that's customizable. Cranberries are their healthy solution. So we think this sums up perfectly what millennials want with cranberries. And we have our tagline right here. It says, "Eat good your way." That millennials can eat, and they can be good, and they can do it however they want. And we think this tagline is pretty catchy, "Eat good your way." Kind of just sums up millennials, that they want to eat healthy, they want it to taste good, and they want to have it their way. So now Stephanie is going to show you.
Thank you, Juan. So using our big idea and our tagline, we're going to take you guys on a cross-country tour. We want to go nationwide to promote the ways that millennials can customize their meals, and we think that this specially designed bus, when you see it on the highway, you're going to be like, what is that? Like, be curious and text your friends, I saw this crazy bus on the highway, and we're going to do social media competitions to make it interactive and promote and incentivize people to become more aware of cranberries. And that's not all. You might be wondering what this crazy mascot is, but we have this idea when we arrive in each of these cities, we're going to have a cranberry bog sing match. So we're going to have two cranberry mascots, Barry Cran and Cran Beast, kind of simulating a boxing match as we enter into these cities. It's going to be something that's going to go viral. People get a crowd around it. We'll have an announcer saying nutrition facts and other benefits of cranberries and promoting our Whole Foods tour, which we'll talk about soon. But we think this is the type of thing that does catch the attention of millennials. It does sound a little ridiculous, but it's the type of things that go viral. So going forward with our tour, we're going to go to the East Coast, the Midwest, and the Pacific Northwest. We're going to hit Providence, Boston, New York, DC, Philly. And then in the Midwest, we'll hit Chicago, Minneapolis, Madison, Indianapolis, and Columbus. And then we'll finish on the Pacific Northwest in Seattle, Portland, and San Francisco. So going forward with our budget, we took into account the bus rental, bus design, food stipend for employees, and then as you can see here, we're going to do 7 days on the East Coast, 7 on the Midwest, and then for the Pacific Northwest, flying them out to those locations. And then our costumes for our boxers, obviously, will be factored in to be a total of $38,400. And so with these in each city, we're not just going to come around on a tour bus. We're going to go to Whole Foods in all of these cities. The Whole Foods CEO is actually quoted as saying that the company's doing very, very well with millennials. Whole Foods has this existing healthy perception, and that's exactly what we're trying to relate to our wannabes and millennials, is a healthier store with healthier options. So we're going to have demo events, 4-hour demo events for the day, where we have one of our representatives there teaching recipes and teaching customers how to integrate cranberries into their meals. And then the passive demo is, after we leave these locations, we're going to have just a cranberry stand with different types of recipes to sample. Even though there won't be someone manning it, there will be still to keep it up with the awareness. And to incentivize people to come to these events, we're going to have $300 gift cards, one per city, so everyone that comes is entered in to win a Whole Foods gift card. So that's what we feel will really get people out, and then Bailey will talk to you a little bit more about the event.
Thanks for that. At each of our Whole Food events, we're going to have in-store demos with the representative talking to customers about the many different ways to eat and cook with cranberries. Our demos 75% of millennials say that they want their brand to provide them with opportunity for more life experiences, and we believe that in Whole Foods, our demos will give them this experience, one that they will enjoy and hopefully remember. Also in our campaign, we are going to be hiring campus representatives in each city that we go to on our bus tour. The representatives will be giving out dried cranberries and talking to people in the street about cranberries, and they'll be updating all their followers about where they are on campus and what they're doing on their own Facebooks and other social media profiles. If we're not as lucky as we are now, where the Whole Foods right in the smack dab of our campus in GW, our campus representatives will pick a spot they think that's best. We estimate that we'll need around 13 reps, one per city, bringing our campaign total to $49,625. And now moving on to our $100,000 campaign idea, which does include the bus tour, Whole Food events, and campus representatives. We'll be spending $30,000 in advertising to Spotify. We'll be spending $10 per 1,000 impressions. We think that this deal is very appealing because Spotify has over 30 million users. 40% of their users are 18 to 24 years old. 41% of their users are early adopters. And on average, users spend about 107 minutes per day using Spotify. And because of this, we think we can reach at least, or make at least 3 million impressions advertising with Spotify. And lastly, throughout our bus tour, we'll be giving out t-shirts to participants at each Whole Foods that will be participating in our events. And we'll also be giving one iPad to each social media contest winner that we'll be hosting each time we go through a city. And Alex will tell you.
And so that's the total for the 100,000. We're coming under at 98,525. So with the social media that's in both campaigns, obviously that's a huge thing today. And we found that 63% of millennials said that they like to stay updated on their favorite brands through social networks. So that's what we're trying to do here. We're going to be using Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, and YouTube. So this is just an example of what the Facebook page would look like. All of the platforms have the username US Cranberries, and we'll be using our hashtag #EatGoodYourWay. These are just some pictures and recipe sharing to kind of get people talking about their favorite way to customize cranberries and some recipes. Would be the Twitter page. We want to do like a fun fact of the day. This one on the bottom is about where cranberries got its name. And then through each city, like Bailey was saying, you can win the iPad mini, so they'll just tweet pictures of the bus if they see us, and we'll automatically enter them in that contest. This is the Instagram, also US Cranberries. We'll just be, sharing photos to keep it on people's minds and hopefully maybe inspire them to go look at cranberries a little more. We see a big opportunity with Pinterest as well because that's really taken off in the past few years with recipe ideas. So we're going to make a board for each different meal of the day, breakfast, lunch, dinner. This one's with snacking. So we'll pin some recipes and then people can go on and repin the recipes onto their own boards to try. And lastly, we want to do a YouTube channel. We found this quote from millennial experts saying almost every one of the millennials we talked to all used YouTube videos to figure out how to prepare food at home. So we want to make kind of a cranberry cooking channel where we do step-by-step instructional videos of how they can use cranberries in their own recipes. So now Ryan is going to talk to you about.
So our media objectives. We'd like to reach 75% of our target markets who participate in social media in the first 6 months of our campaign. So we found that the Cranberry Facebook page has about around 130 likes on Facebook. Competing fruits like blueberries, strawberries, raisins have upwards of like 4,000 to 9,000 likes on Facebook, so we want to try to increase that. We'd like to reach 70% of college students on the campuses that we hire campus reps for. So we want to reach these college students in urban centers that will go out and buy cranberries. And we want to reach 60% of our target market throughout our bus tour and our events. So our events at Whole Foods and through our bus tour, interacting with customers via social media will help us reach this target market. Our communication objectives. We want to create awareness of the versatility of cranberries among 75% of our primary target market in 1 year, so that our target can customize cranberries in their food options. So our wannabes can start customizing their food options with cranberries. We want to inform 65% of our secondary target market of all the health benefits of cranberries in 1 year. And our marketing objectives, we'd like to increase cranberry sales among wannabes by 10% in 1 year, and then also increase cranberry sales among our health guru secondary market by 8% in 1 year. And then how much money is this going to make? So we take the 73.7 million millennials today, multiply that by 15% for our secondary market that you got from our research, by 8% increase in sales, times the profit that a bag of cranberries makes equals 795,000. Using those same numbers except for the 80% of our primary market, we get 5,306,400, creating a total revenue of 6,102,360. And the average price of a cranberry barrel is $17, which reduces the surplus by 358,962 barrels. But this is just something to get us started. This campaign will go for continue for years and years and really begin reducing the surplus of barrels for cranberries. So with that, we are Team Maddox, and we'd love to work with you on your cranberry. Thank you.
Thank you.